Hey everybody, and welcome back to Casa de Leon. My name is Ronnie, and today we are starting seeds. I have so been looking forward to this. In our last video, we talked about everything you need to get seeds started. Today, we're actually doing it. We're gonna get asparagus seed and onion seeds started. They're both to be started somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks before your last frost. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and that's growing zone 6A. So according to Farmer's Almanac, our last frost date typically lands around April 29th. So if you do the math backwards, we're right at about week 10 or 11. So we're right on time to get these seeds started. I wanted to do them before the middle or end of February. So let's get started. What I'm gonna do is mix up my soil in this container. There's already a little bit in there. I'm gonna add some of the Jiffy seed starting mix that we talked about in our last video. We're just gonna mix it up. I had some soil in there, so we're just gonna make sure that everything is stirred up real good in here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water, and we will mix it up again and see if we have it to the consistency that we're looking for. Okay, we need to add more. We definitely want it to be moist because the seeds need moisture to get started. But we don't, like I said, want it to be too moist to where it will clump and stick together. It needs to be a little bit light so that the seeds can germinate well. If they're buried deeper than they're supposed to be, which we'll read the package and see how deep we need to bury them, or if the soil is too wet, it's too thick, it'll have trouble, the seeds will have trouble germinating. So this feels a little bit closer. It is nice and wet. There's still a little bit of water coming out, so I'm still gonna add just a little bit more soil. We don't have to have it perfect. We're just doing the best we can. We're learning together. This feels a lot better. The soil is definitely moist, but it's still light. There's not water coming out. When I clump it together, it's still pretty light. So I think we're to a place where we have a real good consistency. Also, if you don't want to use your hands, you don't have to. You can wear gloves, you can use a little shovel or something like a small gardening shovel, but I was just ready to get in here and get this going. So let's go ahead and fill this tray. These cells are about 2.5 inches deep, which is pretty standard according to what I've read. You want to push the soil down in the cells to make sure that there are no air pockets. We have all of our cells filled, and I'm going to use my little shovel that came with the trays to measure 1/2 inch. So again, whatever seed you're using, on the back of the packet, it should tell you ideal seed depth. So if you look at this one, hopefully you can see that. You can see that 1/2 inch is the ideal seed depth for the asparagus seed. So what I'm gonna do with this little thing, with this little shovel, it's got some measurements on it, is I'm just gonna make these little teeny tiny holes here in the soil that are about 1/2 inch deep. I've seen people use the back of a pencil to kind of just make a hole, but I'm gonna go with this method. This teeny tiny, I mean, I have the little shovel, why not? You've got to cover the seed back up with soil anyway, so I'm gonna use the displaced soil to just push it back over the seed once the seeds are in there. Once your tray is ready, you have the dirt in and you've kind of made the little holes to drop the seeds into. You're gonna grab your seed packet. My seed packet has 100 seeds in it, but I'm only gonna sow about 1/2 of those. I'm just gonna do 1 per cell because I wanna try direct sowing some asparagus as well. I just wanna see which ones do better, the ones that I start indoors or the ones that I direct sow. So I'm only gonna do 1 seed per cell. This is a 40 cell tray. So we're just going to open the packet and be careful because I don't know, your packet might have the sticky stuff too, but like where the envelope was just closed with this sticky stuff, sometimes the seeds stick to it. So I have learned in just like the one other seed packet I've ever opened that you should dump them out, not on the side that has the flap, but this other side, right? Because there's a lot more sticky stuff there that the seeds could get stuck in. Maybe you find that helpful so that you don't drop them, but I'm going to pour them out the other way here. I have never seen asparagus seeds. They kind of look like teeny tiny little black beans. Can you see them? I'm going to take one asparagus seed and drop it in and carefully cover it in each of these holes. Hopefully I have some good music on this video and you're enjoying it while you watch the time lapse. We have our first seed tray. Asparagus is a perennial. I have read many places that they can last for something like 20 years. So while asparagus is my first tray of seeds that I have ever done, they will probably last longer than any other tray of seeds that I do. What you're gonna wanna do afterwards is take the watering tray and fill it about half or a quarter of the way full. Again, there are holes under the cells and that will keep the soil moist. I also am going to mist the top. I don't have the mister here. I just use a regular water bottle, but you can buy a fancy water mister online if you want. But just to make sure that the seed has all of the moisture that it needs to get started germinating. They should sprout in the next 14 to 21 days. So I will keep you posted on how they do. I'm gonna go ahead and now do the same thing with the onions. If you're wondering how many onions I'm gonna plant, I'm actually gonna do half of the tray green onion and half of the tray bulb onion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have questions or learnings that you wanna share with others, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We're all learning together. If you're not yet following us, please give us a follow on Instagram, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are just beginning here at Casa de Leon. There's so much more to learn. Let's keep growing together. See you soon.